What's going on? My name is Lloyd Smith. I'm a personal trainer and motivational engagement speaker. I've had this channel for a while and I post things from time to time, never really anything consistent, but I'm going to use this as a platform, a piece of the platform for my vlogcast. So last year I started a podcast and was going with that pretty steady and let the lack of engagement and following and listeners kind of deter me, and got away from it, got back to it, and kind of got away from it again. And I think I'm just gonna start more simply by just coming on video and talking and using this as one of the platforms for my vlogcasts. I'll do lives on Facebook and Instagram as well, but post these videos in the hopes that maybe it helps somebody that may be going through something. So the vlogcast is overall fit for life. And as a personal trainer, I really embrace how the physical body and the mind are one, and working them out through fitness, both mental fitness and physical fitness, you kind of create that synergy that makes you whole. I suffer from depression, so I use fitness as my outlet to kind of reconnect that synergy, because the mind gets away from you. And so fitness is like my reset. So it's almost 10:30 at night. I just finished the workout. Today has been one of those rough days. I call it a rest day. I only had one client today, so I spent most of the day in the bed, relaxing, as I say, and that's what I tell my family, I'm relaxing. But I spent most of the day in the bed watching TikTok, getting lost in that world, wasting a lot of time. But I can honestly say I cried a lot today. I shed a lot of tears, and they were happy tears for the most part. Watching TikToks and watching the soldiers coming home and coming back to their family, I was able to release a lot of emotion, and they were good, happy tears in that moment. But what it just equated to was a whole bunch of emotions that I just let build up, and that's how I let it out. When I talk to my wife, I just tell her, those videos really get me, and they do to a point. But in the back of my mind, I know that it's more. Things haven't been going great business-wise. I'm still working on building the business. Personal training is one of those things where you lose clients and you pick clients up and you lose clients. And those are obstacles that you face. And I know that as an entrepreneur, I know that as a personal trainer, I know how people are with fitness. It's one of those things that comes and goes. If they're not in it for the right reasons and they don't see the results immediately, then it's just one of those things that comes and goes. So I know that, and I know that comes with the business, but it can get overwhelming at times when you put everything into it, everything into building the programs, creating posts that you hope people engage with or they connect with, so that you build as you go along. And there's going to be ups and downs, and I know that, but sometimes the downs can really be downs. And when you suffer from depression, it's a constant battle anyway. Getting out of bed is a battle, daily battle. I'm a very positive person to an extent. I promote positivity with my motivational engagement speaking. I posted some videos on here, but I do a lot of talks on Facebook and Instagram. I meet with businesses to kind of promote motivation and productivity and positivity in the workspace. And as positive as I am speaking out, it's hard to internalize that sometimes, when it just feels like you're just getting beat down, beat down, beat down. Every step of the way, something happens. You overcome it. You feel like you're getting stronger, then something else comes and hits you and knocks you down. So that was kind of what today was a culmination of. It was from January to this point, the ups and downs, the fight, the get back up, the knockdowns. It just hit me today. And it's not something I like to talk about, especially with my wife, because she worries so much. I don't want to show that emotion around my kids because I want them to kind of see me as the strong figure, and I don't want them to feel like things are wrong or things are going to be bad. So I always want to be positive around them. And so I have my moments where I shut myself off, and I have those moments quietly. Now, a lot of times it's in the gym. This is my personal training studio. So when I don't have clients, it's just me. I can come in here, I can run some weight, I can punch the air, I can quietly scream, I can do everything that I need to do to kind of reset myself and get back to being the person that I am majority of the time, the positive go-getter. Things are going to be okay, keep fighting, don't stop. But there are days like today where every thought was, maybe this is it. Maybe I just need to give up. Maybe I just go back to doing things that I hate because it's more consistent. And, it would be absolutely miserable. I would be absolutely miserable, but in doing that, I would create a security that would not put me in this place of uncertainty. But the flip side of that is I create a space where I'm miserable every single day. So, that battle, that constant mental battle is hard, and it wins for the most part sometimes. And I had to come to the gym, even though it was 9:30 when I got here. I took the workout, listened to motivational talks on YouTube, and really just reset my mind. Allowed myself to have this day, but now that part of the day is gone. It's time to reset, get back to the productivity, the positivity, the almost, I guess you would say, positive reinforcement and really speaking into what I want to happen. So, taking those actions. If I'm upset that people aren't working out and then I choose not to work out, then I'm kind of feeding into that same thing. So even though I didn't want to today, came today, was my reset, and that's what it is. So I just want to get on here and kind of talk about that, because I think a lot of people feel like when your back is against the wall, the thing to do is find the easier solution. The easiest solution would be for me to shut this down and go get a 9-to-5. It wouldn't be the greatest thing, but it would be the easiest solution. But this is what I feel like I'm put on earth to do. I'm put on earth to give my all to helping people be the healthiest they can be so that they can live their life to the absolute fullest. And in that, I know sometimes I'm going to care more than they do. And that's part of it. When you feel like this is what you're drawn to, you're going to care about things more than other people will. And sometimes I feel like I care more about my clients' health than they do, because I'm constantly putting the time to put in the workouts, rethink the workouts when they miss a day or they miss a week. How can I kind of catch them back up and get them back on track, and challenges that I can put them through to keep them mindful and things like that. So it happens. I put my all into it, put 110% of myself into fitness and motivation. That's just who I am. And when it doesn't work out the way I think it should, or you do that one thing when you kind of compare yourself to other people in the industry. And you're like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? I don't understand. I'm doing the things that I feel like I need to do. And you start to compare yourself, and you almost in turn beat yourself up. Like the world is already putting obstacles in your way, making things challenging. And then you turn around and you do much more damage by beating yourself up and telling yourself that this is not working out. Maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you should just give up. And it just compounds the issues that already come. And so I think it's hard, but going through the hard things is what makes being successful in the things that you strive for so much more rewarding, right? It'll be very easy for me to go get a 9 to 5, have a steady paycheck. With that steady paycheck, go try to buy things to replace the feeling that I have by doing the thing that I love. And in that, create more and more uncertainty and feelings of imposter syndrome and things like that. So if I can give any advice from this, because this is basically just a venting session, and hopefully if this touches somebody and they've been going through the same thing and they get something out of it, that's all that I pray that this is for. But this is more like a venting session. But the one thing that I hope that I show my kids, my clients, friends, family, is that the hard things are required to be done if you want to do the things that you truly want to do. It's very easy to do things that you don't like and blame everybody else for it. I don't like going to work because the people I work with, or I don't like going to work because of the hours that I work, or I hate the job, but it pays so well. It's easy when you can blame stuff on other things. But when you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I do today that will get me to maybe a step forward tomorrow? Or how can I build on what I did today to be better tomorrow? And it's on you, and you can't blame anybody else but yourself. That's hard. And I find that in fitness as well. And I tell all my clients this. I am a personal trainer, and I'm going to help put you in the best position for you to be successful. But it's still on you to be successful. You have to show up. You have to put in the work. You have to do the things that you don't want to do. And in that, you will then be successful and be very rewarding. But when you miss sessions because I'm tired or I don't feel the greatest, it starts to add up. And it starts to become almost a habit that, really don't want to work out today. My stomach's not feeling great, so that's all right, I'll miss this one. It becomes a habit. So what you had established as a routine to come and working out every day, doing the things you don't want to do, those couple of times that you get off track and you make those little subtle excuses and you blame something else for the reason that you don't want to do it, it then becomes a habit. And what I try to tell people is one of the most disciplined things you can do is work on yourself. And if there's something that you know you need to do, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get stronger, if you want to look better for the summer, or you want to look great in a dress for a date or your wedding, and you don't do the things that are necessary to accomplish that, then what happens is it becomes a habit. Because that one thing that you truly wanted, you didn't want to put the effort into. So now it becomes a habit because I really want to go on this vacation, but you know what? I don't have the money. I could work the overtime, but that's too much. I don't want to do that. Or I really want to buy this house, but man, that's a lot of money. And if I use that money, then I can't do blah, blah, blah. But you really want the house. It would benefit you to have the house, but you don't want to make that sacrifice. So it starts to become a habit, and those little things turn into big things, and those big things turn into bigger things. And then what happens is you start blaming everything else. Well, I can't do this because I don't have the house, or I can't do this because I don't have the money. And then it just becomes more of a habit, and you start to blame everything and everybody for the reason you're in the situation you're in. So the one thing that I try to tell my clients is, and a lot of what my motivational engagement is about, is you are the primary source of your happiness. So your health is the number one important thing. If you're not healthy, then you're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do. If you're constantly tired, then you're not going to be able to enjoy life to its fullest. If you're constantly in pain, knee pain, back pain, not going to be able to enjoy your life to the fullest. So it's very important that you, one, take care of yourself. Once you create that discipline to take care of yourself, that then transfers into everything else in your life, because you're doing the hardest thing. You're doing the hardest thing. The hardest thing is to be disciplined enough to take care of yourself, because the world asks so much of you. The job, your family, your friends, bills ask so much of you. So it's easy to say, I don't have time. But if you make the time and you do the things necessary to take care of yourself, you're doing the hardest thing in the world. And once you can commit to the hardest thing in the world, that makes taking on harder things easier, because you establish a routine of doing the hardest thing every single day. So that's why I work out, because that's the hardest thing, is taking care of myself, especially on a day like today. I took the day off, I relaxed, spent some time with the family, was in that mindset of hiding my true emotion. I didn't want to do this. It got to be 9:30. I was like, you know what? It's too late. Not going to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. But I grabbed my shoes, put them on, came over to the studio, because I knew this was the reset I needed, the hard thing that I needed to do today to make tomorrow better. And so in doing that, I'm not 100%, but I feel better. My mind is already taking a whole different direction than I was earlier today. How can I keep this fight going? What's the message I need to give out tomorrow to make sure that I am doing something more tomorrow than I did today, to make sure that my business stays on track, to stay that my mindset stays on track, and to make sure that my clients stay on track. And so, you know, it's not easy, and it's never easy. But I think the one thing that I've kind of taken in from all the motivational speeches that I ever listened to is, one, hard work works, and two, doing the easy things will get you less than what you truly want. Doing the hard things is the path to getting everything that you want. So through the hard things, I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to accomplish everything that I want to. And it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. So that's the message I want to kind of pass on. This was kind of a venting session. I'm going to come on here and post these more. I think this will be a good outlet for me, kind of like a video diary for me that I can share. And if somebody watches it and gets something from it, absolutely great. Love that. That's part of my motivational engagement speaking anyway. So until next time, do the hard things. They are necessary for you to get everything out of you, everything you want out of life. Doing the easy things will only get you comfort, and comfort does not necessarily mean happiness. So go 100% for everything that you want. Win, lose, or draw, it will be worth it, I promise. Until next time.